In triangle XYZ, angle Y is a right angle, point P lies on XZ, and point Q lies on YZ, such that PQ is parallel to XY. If the measure of angle XZY is 63 degrees, what is the measure in degrees of angle XPQ? Okay, so we have a lot of information here, so let's just go through it one by one. So we have a right angled triangle, XYZ, where angle Y is the right angle. So we'll just assume these two other angles will be X and Z. And point P lies on XZ. So since Y is the right angle, XZ has to be the hypotenuse, and XZ lies on point P lies on XZ. So let's just say this is point P. And point Q lies on YZ, such that PQ is parallel to XY. So that means Q is a point on YZ, this side here, such that the line connecting P and Q, this right here, is parallel to XY, so this line here. So it's kind of a mini triangle inside this triangle, in the larger triangle. So if the measure of XZY, so XZY, so this angle here, if that angle has a measure of 63 degrees, what is the measure in degrees of the angle XPQ? So we need to find the measure of the angle XPQ. So we're given that this is a right angle and the measure of this angle, and that there's this horizontal line here that's parallel to XY. And what this means is that this triangle inside here is similar to the outside triangle. That's because of the angle-angle theorem. Because we know that this line is parallel to this one here, we know that this angle here is also a right angle, and that this angle is obviously shared by both the triangles. Z is the angle for both the small and the large triangle. So by the angle-angle theorem, we know that these two triangles are similar. And what that means is all of the angles are the same. So let's draw out this tiny triangle that we have, which has point P, point Q, and angle Z up here. And what we need to do is find the measure of XPQ. And XPQ is going from here to this angle to here. So we need to find the measure of this. Okay, and we can do that by finding the angle, this angle here. So since we know this is a triangle, and we know that this angle up here is 63 degrees, that means this angle right here, since it's a right triangle, has to be 90 minus 63 degrees. So that means that this angle here is equal to 27 degrees. That's just a property of right triangles, because in right triangles there's a 90 degree here. So obviously the other two angles have to add up to 90 degrees, because all the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So that means the measure of this angle here is 27 degrees. And since we know that this here, this long thing, is 180 degrees, since it's a line. So that means that these two angles, this angle here, this angle right here, and this angle right here, have to add up to 180 degrees. So that means 27 plus whatever this angle is, so the XPQ angle, have to add up to 180. So that means XPQ has to equal 180 degrees minus 27 degrees. So that means XPQ has to equal 153. So the measure of angle XPQ is 153 degrees.